Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review, chapter 1150, Dome Reversity. I might be pronouncing the name of this chapter wrong, I apologize, but yeah, we have reached the, the landmark of the 1150th chapter of One Piece, and this one promises to be to be a big one. As last chapter, we got to see see what Skakobagan could do as a retired old man, taking down Saint Somers, if you will. Though from what I can tell, he seems to be still alive because of his immortality and all that. But Gunko uses the advantage of holding his son Colin as hostage, is able to take him down, and as a result ends up triggering a bit of memories from Gunko that from her past, which seems to be some sort of connection with Brooke. But before that she could react on it, Emu possesses her body and decides to take action as the Holy Land is apparently on fire. And it seems like they're being attacked by someone, so they need to wrap up stuff here quickly on Elbaf. So yeah, how will this chapter go down? Well, we'll basically be likely to see what Emu can actually do. Before that, we do have the cover story, which is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 34, Emma Shrine Hakuma, Yase Sword is enshrined, and the pilgrimage is complete. So we see that Yamato has finally arrived at has completed the quest of returning Lord Yashi's, I believe, sword in sort of like the enshrined temple. I'm not sure if that means it needs to be left there or it needs to be taken back. I'm not sure if this was like his actual grave or not, but at the very least, let's see, the main reason for Yamato's journey is at an end, so either that this cover story is ending, or there'll probably be some more stuff that we're going to see of Yamato, given the fact that she's now got, he's now got, he, she, whatever, Yamato's now got both, I guess you could say, Page One and Uti with Ritzy along with the party, if you will. So they're going to be, whether or not we're going to see more adventures with this trio, or are we just about complete with the story? We'll have to wait and see. But it is sort of nice to see them tagging along, I guess, actually paying respect. I wonder how they must be feeling, since they were technically on the enemy side from the samurai that they're being buried and all that stuff. I wonder if they've had a change, have realized the error of their ways completely, or if there's some still lingering loyalty to Kaido at the very least. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see in that regard. But yeah. Anyway, I've gone long enough. It's time to get on to the actual chapter in itself. Let's see, chapter 1050. Here we go. The chapter begins with basically the let's see. Here we go. Yeah, basically the bunch of giants. Let's see, possibly some of the parents. Let's see, arriving to where the children are. Let's see, happy that they're safe at least. Let's see, you got Colin crying, telling them that his dad fell down into the underworld, which they're shocked that this has happened to Mr. Yar. Let's see, warning them of that, let's see, lady, if they will, or Gunko, now possessed Emu, as they're a bit confused why she's floating, and they must have been and concerned for the kids. Some of them reach the kids and just about try and touch them, but of course, Summers and Gunko's abilities are still in effect, and they are, of course, pushed back. Let's see, one of the kids, I think Yarl's granddaughter, I forgot her name, Era or something. Well, she's wondering what is going on. Emu, let's see, finding these giants to be a bit of an annoyance. Kretzy unleashes his conqueror's hockey, confirming that he does have it, telling them all to be silent, knocking out all the giants that were there, as well as all the kids, because, well, they're kids, they wouldn't really stand a chance against Emu's hockey, if you will. And we see the conqueror's hockey spreading across all of Elbaf, and especially around the giant trees of Elbaf, showing just how large scale his hockey is, if you will. So much so that some of the giant warrior pirates are with Dougie and Bruggy. See some of them get knocked out with the burst of hockey, so it's powerful enough to even knock out some of those giants, much to their surprise. And heck, they even see some giants knocked out with the village where Jarl is, as and see some of the giants. See some of the giants there. I think possibly some of the more civilians collapsing. And then we see Emu, see possessing Gunko, creating these sort of demon-like circle with like cannons coming out, blowing up some of the giants, if you will. That I think some of the pirate giants that have just arrived. As we see Gunko in a full sort of possessed form with the standard demonic wings, demon tail, and sort of trident spear, if you will. As he declares all resistance must be quashed, saying that this is the best I sleeptids can do to Kilgrim, asking, are those, let's see, basically dream monsters, are they being kind of, are they being a bit, they seem to be being a bit weak right now, but um, Killam just quickly goes like, not so, Great One. The nightmare holes remain open, as he explains that they continue to spawn monsters from every nightmare found on the island. And they're creatures of dreams with no concept of death, so they can be revived at any time, raising the stakes even more with these monsters that have, let's see, we thought were already beaten, but turns out they can still be brought back. So yeah, raising the stakes more with this sort of news. Anyway, we see to the straw hat. Let's see, we cut to straw hats as you get Emu said, lead the line of whelps. Let's see, Somers giving command to him as he's starting to come up, and he goes like, right as you command and all that stuff. The straw hats are like basically shocked that Somers is still alive. And Jimbo just talking about, is this the same woman that's up in the air, saying how she's different before? Robin's going like asking where Luffy's group is right now. Nami says that, let's see, the monster trio basically aren't here. As Brock points out, the same to her, Juden as well. Let's see, apparently Ernie just saying it's just the worst kind of luck they've had since they're now in the they're currently in the underworld right now. And we see Robin is attempting to use her devil fruit abilities to break free from like the thorns, but it's hurting her and all that stuff. Jinbei's showing concern about what she's doing. But let's see, Robin says that after help, she can't just really sit here and be captured and do nothing. As we see the burning library, which is probably where Robin's going to go to try and save them, if you will. Anyway, you get Somers is starting to regenerate, despite, I guess, Gunko's more permanent damaging hockey, if you will. Though, granted, it could be possible that since Scopicaban was defeated, he can, let's see, the hockey is no longer activated or something. We'll have to wait and see more on this ability, really. But, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Emu's then just talking to Somers about how the question is now, whom will we parlay with, since they're using these belts as bait, children as bait, and Somers agrees with him, calling him the Great One, saying it makes no sense for a kingdom without a king. Let's see, as he's cursing Gabon, as his body's still in sort of agony from like the attacks they've done with. Anyway, Dougie and Broogie arrive where the Gunko Emu is, as Emu declares the two to that they are going to be the rulers of this land, and they will be like the new kings. Let's see, but I believe let's see, Broogie is going like let's see with the horror. Let's see, it is Broogie, right? I always get the two mixed up. Hold on, let me just I'm gonna double check quickly. Let's see, let me just check the names. Let's see. Yeah, it's Broggy. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Let's see, but yeah, yeah, it's Broggy. Yep, it's Broggy. That's Let's see. Ask him if he's asking Gunko. Well, Emu if he's with the Holy Knights. Grabs the Emu Gunko. Let's see. Angry that you're the ones who've driven Elbaf to this madness. The giant. He tells Dory to go on ahead and join the. Let's see, and tells the other giants to join him as they obey the commands. As let's see, Dory just tells Brookie to take care of himself, as Brookie now demands that you give back the children. Let's see, asking how many of you there are. But Gunko, Emu Gunko, says, understand this, Brookie, thou will meet with Bidhill Jaro and cut off his head and hold it afloat. And then let's see, so you get a spell book coming out of Emu Gunko's hands, if you will, saying then announce to thy people that they are the kings of Elbaf, as a black mist comes out of the book. Let's see. With Broggy saying, "Never, this is our country. You can't tell us what to do." As a giant shotgun comes out of it, as well as a knife. Gunko Emu grabs the knife, stabbing Broggy's hand, if you will, to release her, if you will. And then you've got like Gunko, then Emu grabbing the giant gun, saying, "But it will not be for nothing." As the Emu Gunko shoots Brooky's arm off, and it's like off. It's like the hand's blasted off. It's kind of like it's been cut off, if you will. But yeah, and it says, "I gave the power of evil," as Emu's declaring that he's going to give them. As Emu is going to give them some sort of like power of evil by serving him, if you will, and the giant crew members of his crew are like shocked at the captain's arms being blown off, thinking that how could they take off his mighty arm, if you will. And the giants saying they pay dearly for this, but Emu creates a magic circle, saying, "In exchange for some measures of thy lifespan, thou wilt receive undying body and an uncanny strength. Under the fealty to Mu, thou art unbound to common sense and logic. Demons are the only proper form of life to take." Basically, that's what Emu is saying with like this sort of contract. Using a move called Diabolical Convert, a magic circle surrounds Bruggy, and the giants are saying, "Wait, did you say demon? What you going to do to Bruggy?" As Bruggy is swallowed up by the circle, and he uses the move which is Dome Reverse, which I think is the which is the name of the chapter, if you will. So that's just basically what's the attack is the main focus of it. As Brookie is taken in. Let's see, the Giants have conserved their captain, weight, and all that stuff. But you see his legs. He's sort of like flipped from upside down. You now see his legs, but they're all black and evil. And then we see a monstrous version of Broogie and Omi and I think Kashi is like shocked with what he is actually seeing, as we get as you can see here, demonic form of Bruggy, and he seems to become the size of an ancient giant. Let's see, the crew is a bit confused. He's turned into a demon, and asking what's happened to him. Let's see. They're a bit scared. He looks like a real demon, and demanding their captains come back, saying that the real captain, Broggy, would never try to attack his own crew, saying he's got warrior's pride. But before that could be finished, Broggy sends those three giants flying, as you now got Broggy laughing, talking about how feel powerful, like nothing can stop him now. And you also off-screen hear Giant saying, "No, she got Captain Dory too." So he's also become a giant monster, if you can see here. As you see Dory laughing his gear, telling his boys to come along, time to kill Jaro. But the giant crew surrounding him saying, "No, Captain Dory, stop," saying that you have to wake up. If you actually do that, our country is doomed. Telling them to help us stop them. Thinking about what about the kids, as you get some of them trying to cry out captains, but then magic circles surround some of the giant members of the giant warrior pirates as well, as they also turned into demons, as some of the crew members like, "No, not you guys too." Thinking like, was it because they were standing in between the two of them? So it seems like this sort of ritual circle was affecting people surrounding them as well. Thinking that it can't be just thinking that this can't be happening, telling everyone to keep their distance, as Emu looks on, as Emu declares, "Not bad." So this is the power of Elbaf, as we see a bunch of giants running away from as you can see in this double page spread, from now the possessed Dorian Bruggy and a few members of their crew, if you will, at least let's see, 4 of them. Let's see, though there might be more in the background, if you will. Let's see, surrounded with some now revived, powered up monsters from Killam's crew, as Emu says, "It will not be destroyed, but preserved and ruled over," as you see the guards knights looking on. saying perhaps it's time to stay and watch to see how useful they will be in war. As you've got villagers from the sea villagers telling Chief Jarl that saying they must flee as something's wrong with Captains Durgi and Bruggy, telling him to run for his life. But chapter ends with let's see, Giles saying, "Never tell a warrior to run from battle," seemingly implying that he's about to enter the fray, ending the chapter on such a high notice. So yeah. Oh boy! Now this was a chapter. This was seriously a chapter. I will give now. I guess for my overall thoughts on this chapter. Let's see, if Emu is the final boss of like One Piece, which I am very much likely certain that Emu is at this point, then I would say, yeah, I definitely think Emu is starting to live up to that hype. Let's see, Emu is starting to live up to that hype, and we actually finally get an idea of what Emu can do. I do like how we got like some of the giants just trying to come to rescue children, but of course the God's Knight's powers are still preventing them from doing so. And we actually this gives us a chance to see Emu. Ooh, we've got Sleepy Bean Peace 10K. Yo, what's up? Sleepy Bean Peace 10K here. Are you my regular One Piece? Yeah, Albert D. Zoni. Let's see, Emu is indeed the vinyl villain, SF and all that stuff, while Emu Blackbeard is the final villain for Laugh Tale. Yeah, at this point, it is looking that way. Let's see, it is looking that way. Let's see, Emu does appear to be like the final villain, if you will, because it's like, man, this let's see, it is just impressive for what we've just seen of Emu here. First of all, the Conqueror's Hockey, which I think it was obvious that Emu would probably have this, given the fact that we know the Five Elders do, and Emu has a level of Conqueror's Hockey. Granted, I know there was some doubts about Emu after when you saw Emu react to Joe Boy's Hockey, but I think that's just more of the fact that, let's see, Emu has a bit of, let's see, due to his own past, probably experience with dealing with Joe Boy, may have a sort of PTSD kind of moment, if you will, as this is an enemy's hockey he never wanted to feel again. Let's see, oh, you got, let's see, Sleepy Bean PCK says, it was obvious that Emu's got Conqueror's Hockey, so yeah, pretty obvious. And let's see, but we also got to probably see perhaps maybe, let's see, tied up with Joe Boy, the most impressive display of hockey by the fact that his Conqueror's Hockey is traveled basically probably through all of Elbaf, and Elbaf is a very big land, so yeah, this is like very impressive, if you will. Let's see, we see, of course, children obviously get knocked out. We see some of the civilians and even some of the giant warrior pirates. Granted, not, of course, all the main ones, because, well, there'd be no, let's see, climactic battles and all that stuff if all the giant warrior pirates were taken out. But yeah, granted, this is mostly with Gunko's body, so we don't know if this is the full scale of Emo's powers, but his hockey is extremely impressive. Let's see, people think Emo's just in shock with PTSD. Yeah, I think that was the case with most people. I think there were some people who were sort of like maybe being like, okay, maybe Emo's not as strong as Joe Boy or something like that. But yeah, but anyway, let's see. Imagine if you defeat your greatest enemy and he comes back 2 more times. Probably, though, I would probably say that Emu was probably only in the second era to this current era, if you will. I don't think he was in the first era. I think he was like the first era. Let's see, it's just yeah, okay, let's see, just shock with PSC, fair enough. But yeah, but anyway, yeah, this gritty level of Conqueror's Hockey is impressive, and I'm looking forward to see either Luffy, let's see, maybe Luffy or Loki, because I assume Loki probably has Conqueror's Hockey. One of them, possibly, if they do enter the fight at some point, or maybe even if Shanks comes up, we'll see him do a Conqueror's Hockey clash with one of those 3. So yeah, just to see a bit of the scale of the hockey, if you will. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. But I do also like the fact that, okay, with this chapter, we've got confirmation of what likely is probably Emu's Devil Fruit abilities. A while back, let's see, probably in reviews, I thought maybe Emu might have the Jormanga, the great serpent of Norse mythology's devil fruit abilities. Let's see, like Mr. Morge the Virion. I thought, okay, that was probably the most likely one. But it's clear now it is not that devil fruit. It is likely some form of the devil fruit. And I think if you watched Mr. Morge's latest video, he talks about how Ditzy Shanks mentioned about a sea devil in the very first chapter. So who knows? It's very likely that this is the devil fruit, since with Vegapunk's speech, with like whatever you can imagine, can come into existence, and arguably the sea devil is probably like is the devil fruit. And okay, we got a comment here. This is why I think Emu was the first world is Nika for SS a god, while Emu is the. Why I think Emu was in the first world is that Nika was a god, while Emu is the devil. Okay, so you think there was Emu fought the first Nika in that world, and then attempted to fight the second Nika, which was Joe Boy, in the second world. Fair enough. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that regard. We'll have to see what Oda's going to do with that sort of history. At the very least, Emo, refers to Nika as Joy Boy at the moment, but it could be, so either he was immortal for from at least the first world, or he became immortal in the second. But I guess that is interesting to see, as we see in this chapter here. And we do see Emo constantly having things like the devil would be, but yeah. So yeah, basically, I love this sort of but this chapter definitely confirmed that he is the devil. That has probably some sort of devil fruit, and may have been even hinted at the very first chapter of One Piece with some of its abilities. But I'll get more into that in a bit. But yeah, but I do like the sort of design you got here of Gunko here. Yeah, only I suppose there's still that little nitpick that just like the Bible of Jesus and Satan. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, but I suppose some might think the Gunko's leggings are a bit too short, but I think that doesn't really it doesn't really squander the aurora of Emu in this sort of page here of looking like a devil possessed with wings, the trident and the tail. It all looks pretty menacing, if you will. I do like how he is basically you've got Medi Hawkins going, hello Medi Hawkins. I am just giving my thoughts in this chapter, and I'm just talking about Emu's abilities right now, but I'm about to get on to this conversation with Quillenham, running Sleepy Bean is just saying, welcome to Media Hawkins. I hope you enjoy what we have to talk about, but yeah. Anyway, Emu's going I like how Emu's going why are your demon creatures getting slaughtered? Is this is this all they can do? But I like how I am French speaking, but I understand English. I'm a huge fan of One Piece. Okay, that's fair enough. And to be fair, that makes sense because I do know that One Piece is extremely popular in France and all that stuff. Heck, you even got the French president trying to say that he was a huge fan. I think when the Japanese Olympics came in and all that stuff. So yeah, and all right, noted. So yeah, I've come to see your stream to see what you're seeing. Okay, fair enough. Well, as you can see, I am currently talking about the landmark chapter of 1150, and then just talking about Emu. But I do like how Kilogram, maybe with a little bit of fear in his voice, or at least maybe a bit of panic, but nevertheless is explaining that, okay, my creature, these creatures explain that, no, I can do more of these creatures. And we end up learning a bit more about, Killam's abilities because, well, it seems like Killam has these, spawning holes, if you will, that can summon these, I'm not French, I'm Bulgarian. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm confused. Okay, but, all right. Never mind. But anyway, where was I? But yeah. Anyway, Killam has explained that he has black holes of summoning all these dream creatures everywhere, and they cannot die. As long as he gives the command, they can be resurrected. So this makes this monster army even more deadly because it's it seems like even if you kill them, they'll eventually come back if you get Let's see, win for the kill him, the hybrid design. Well, that's next chapter. Same as okay. That's next chapter, and that'll be spoilers. But yeah, anyway, let's see. I have read chapter 1151, but I'm not going to spoil what happens in this chapter with this review for those who, let's see, stumbled upon this review who haven't maybe seen it, just so that. But I will say this, I do not review the chapters until the official translation comes out. I wait until the official translation. The official translation, this is the latest translation for 1150. But let's see, but tomorrow when 1151 comes out, I will try and either review it, let's see, that day or the following day, or maybe even next weekend when I have time and all that stuff. And it's like, all right, I'm not spoiling, but yeah, good on. But yeah, so basically, this monster army of dreams, if you will, can just come back, just the command of Killingham, and seems like the only way to permanently get rid of them is to take out Killingham himself. But since all God's Knights seem to be immortal, that may end up being a lot more difficult. So yeah, just showing you just how deadly Killingham is an opponent, and the fact that this army is perhaps one of the most deadliest armies we've ever seen in One Piece. Maybe even actually most deadly, if you will. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, tomorrow's the official translation. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, Killingham is proving to be more and more of a threat. But yeah. Let's see. Anyway, I do like how Summers seems to come back to. Let's see, he's not permanently taken out by Gabon, which makes sense because you don't want, I guess, one of the God's Knights to be taken out just that so slightly. But yeah. But it is interesting to see that fact that Summers has now finally started to generate, but he's still feeling pain. So either whatever Gabon did was only temporarily permanent, or it was only undone when Gabon was taken out of the fight, so that'll be a bit curious to see what happens. Let's see. What's the strongest beast? He's the weakest. It may very well possible be that Somers might be the weakest, though that still does not mean that he isn't a deadly threat, as we have seen. He was able to take, of course, down Sol, and was able to trap Robin, if you will. So it's not like let's see if it breaks One Piece with this chapter. Well, they think you mean 1001. Let's see, 5-1. So yeah, I have a bit of time, but yeah, Winolder. Let's see, but it's cool. It's like I like what happens in the moments and the moment of Elbaf. Yeah, I'm hoping that these latest few chapters, for those who've been a bit detractors of Elbaf, will actually be coming back and like, oh, this chapter is amazing. But yeah, anyway, where am I? Yeah. Let's see. I like how the Straw Hats are like just shocked by that Summers is still alive, and also I like how they notice that something's different with Gunko, and I do like how Robin is particularly asking where the monster trio is, with Nami trying to explain where they are. I do like how Brock's also bringing up her children because, well, they went to go to the underworld, so they know where the Straw Hats are. But yeah, but let's see, I do like the fact that Robin is trying to escape, even though I think Jinbei is being a bit, being too cautious about it. But nevertheless, I think he's just concerned for Robin's safety. But I do like that Robin's like, let's see, given the fact that Elbaf's library is burning, which has got their culture and history, but also her own culture and history, she cannot let it burn. She got to try and do something. F means for sure. Okay, fair enough. And I have a fear about Imu-sama. Okay, let's see, we're waking her arm in hockey. Yeah, I'm hoping she'll get hockey in this arc, but yeah, who knows? All right, Medi Hawkins, if you have a theory, feel free to share it. But yeah, but I'll see whether or not I agree with it or not. But yeah, I like that Robin is trying to take action because, well, her culture is on the line. So let's see. We'll have to see if she's able to break free of herself, or maybe something happens that causes Summers to lose control, lose his concentration, and it undoes the ability, and she can try and go and save let's see, the library. But who knows? We might get a Robin versus Summers fight 2.0, if you will. Let's see. Robin will. Okay, wait. Here we go. I think Imu is the mother of all devil fruits. Let's see. Because she is a demon. Jimbo said that you can't get out of the thorns. She created the devil fruit. I'll get more onto that later, but I think to be fair, the devil fruits were created from dreams. So let's, hold on. Let's see. Gotta get let's see. Gotta get my charger. Let's see. I've seen lowering power. Oh, let me just quickly. There we go. Charging. But yeah. Let's see. It's a perfect moment, just like when Luffy awakens Rio in an intense moment in Wano. That is true. Life and death situation. That is fair enough true. But yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. I do like the sort of conversation that Emu and Somers has about how the fact there seems to be a lack of leader, and this gives us sort of like an idea about what Emu seems to think of the world. It's like like lands need to have kings, and which suppose I think makes sense because I think Emu views himself as king of the world. So yeah, it's like everywhere needs a king, and like their puppets and pieces and play under him, if you will. And I do like the fact that he decides, okay, since Dory and Broggy are like the strongest warriors here in Elbaf, not counting Loki, he will make them the kings and all that stuff. But of course, Dougie and Broggy are like, yeah, we're not having that stuff. You'd see you're going down. But I do like how we get to see that see more of Emu's abilities of summoning spell books, which has a bunch of weapons, like able to create weapons like shotguns and knives, if you will. And Emu was able to easily take down Broggy by blasting off his arm, if you will, or hand, if you will, with like the shotgun. And the giants will be freed for sure. Very likely, but we'll have to see. It'll probably be a while before that happens. So yeah. So yeah. I think okay, a bit spoilers towards the end, but yeah. Let's see, you got Emu taking down Broggy quite easily, which thank you, yeah, because they're tight. Sorry, let's see, hay fever season. So Emu's capable of like taking down yeah, I know. Hay fever season, unfortunately. It takes down Broggy quite easily. Let's see, that it's even shocked the giants because of how strong Broggy's arm is, if you will. But yeah. But then, of course, like, let's see, we learn a bit more about, let's see, I like how in this fight we also, let's see, why didn't he use his hockey when he held the gimme, if I had to guess, it's probably Broggy was probably just so mad that he was either forgot about the hockey or he think that with his giant strength, he didn't really need it. I'm not really sure, but I know it's a minor nitpick I'm not going to really focus too much on, to be honest. But yeah, but I do end up liking how, let's see, when Emu's talking about making a contract with Dougie and Broggy, we end up getting an idea of how he's able to give up immortality, making this magic circle, having them exchange a bit of their lifespans, if you will, and let's see, and Emu seems to be able to give the commands of what to do. If it's like, let's see, remove people's thoughts and reason and turn them into demons, and I think this is just more of like the more lesser people to get under his command, the guards, knights, and it seems the five elders get a bit more, let's see, special abilities, if you will, or at least the five elders are probably getting like abilities because mentioned, I think one of the abilities we probably can see of the devil, I think people regard as the devil. I think this is like hinted at the first chapter, is that the sea devil created devil fruits when Shanks mentioned that sort of tale. Let's see, the actual devil fruit created from like probably people imagining the sea devil probably gave like a fruit that had like someone that create, let's see, devil fruit like abilities themselves. So allowing someone like Emu to give people devil fruit like abilities, like what the five elders do, since they weren't really mentioned as devil fruits, but as like the actual monsters themselves. So that is another aspect of Emu's power. But here, let's see, with this Dome reverse thing, he's able to turn Dougie and Broggy, if you will, and a few other giants into actual demons, if you will. So yeah, I love their demon designs, by the way. Let's see, the fact that they've become, let's see, they got the black wings and the horns and all that stuff, let's see, dark flaming eyes, and also the fact that they've become the size of ancient giants, and it's just like so it only works if the Haki is weaker than his. Maybe. Let's see. If Emu created those devil fruits and he made his own downfall low, I don't think Emu created the devil fruits. To be fair, I think Emu has a devil fruit that can give devil fruit-like powers, but I think devil fruits are generally created from dreams. So let's see, and I think the first word in the Harley text, I think that you got from like that one chapter of Elbaf, which basically talked about when man touched the sun, Nika appeared. So I think whatever the first Nika did created the first devil fruit from like the sun god, if you will, and then more devil fruits were imagined into existence, and that over time happened. And one of them was a devil fruit, was an actual devil himself, because people perhaps believe the devil created these devil fruits, if you will. And as a result, you've got like that ability of the devil, if you will. If I'm making sense here, by the way, but yeah. I do like but yeah, I love the designs of like Doggy and Broggy. They're basically the size of ancient giants. You can see how strong they are with them sending some of the giant crew to flying. I like the sort of despair. You've got like the crew with that both their captains are turned into monsters, trying to reason with them, but going like, okay, Sleepy Bean's piece is like makes sense. Emu sort of like the crew tries to reason, but some of them also get possessed by this demon circle surrounding their captains. So let's see, they become monsters themselves. And it's sort of like, it's in some ways, it kind of reminds me of like a sort of zombie virus kind of thing, though maybe not with like the biting and all that stuff, but yeah. Do I think Doggy and Broggy have Conqueror's Haki? No, I don't think they do. I mean, I could possibly, probably characters that have it, but I don't think they do. I could be wrong, of course, but if they do, I don't think it's going to be the level of like Yonko or all that stuff. If anything, it may be at best Doflamingo, Katakuri levels of Conqueror's Haki, if you will. But I think at the moment, the only giant that's likely to have Conqueror's Haki is Loki. I could be wrong, but yeah. But they show traits, but so far they haven't used it. They do have I think they have the traits for being Conqueror's Haki users, but I don't think they necessarily have it. But yeah. But anyway, I love like this final panel thing of like the giant crew with a demon art with like the dream army, seemingly more menacing. So it's like the threat has become much more high, because not only have you got these dream monsters to deal with, but now you've got some turned giant pirates and all that stuff. So basically the enemy count has gone from 3 to like 5, if you will. And it's because in Elbaf they would use it, right? Probably, but yeah. It's like it's not like the Yonkos, but yeah. But yeah, you've basically got 3 enemies turned to 5 now with Doggy and Broggy, and you now sort of wonder the matchups, because if Luffy and the others Team Monster Trio come back with a giant warrior, pirates, and Loki, it's very likely you could have Zoro and Sanji versus like Dory and Broggy in this state, or maybe even Usopp fighting these guys. Who knows? There's like so does that mean Emu will take over control of Big Mom? I have just been thinking, as we see Big Mom MA in the back. That I think is just more of a dream from a kid of like of their being terrified of their mother. Let's see, but yeah. Let's see. To get onto like the whole Big Mom thing, I do know that Emu. Let's see. I do know that Mr. Morge did a video recently about the possibility of Big Mom and Kaido coming back after maybe Blackbeard, destroys the borders of Wano to get Pluton. Now, what happens to Big Mom and Kaido afterwards? Who knows? Do they try and continue their cruise? Do they try and join Blackbeard? But it could be possible that Emu sees these 2 Yonko coming back, decides that, okay, let's see, you know what? I'm going to possess them. So it's very likely you could get Big Mom and Kaido possessed for the final arc under Emu's command, and that could just raise the stakes more, as now you've got 2 of these characters back. Now, who they fight, who knows? it could be that you get Law, and if Law and Kid are still about, you could probably maybe have them fight that. Maybe the Wano Samurai and Big Mom's children fight them, just to either, let's see, free them, or let's say, like, get a chance to surpass them, if you will. But yeah, and they're saying, I do love the idea of Ema taking over Big Mom and Kid beats the possession of her low. Who knows? That could be possible. But who knows? For all we know, Kid could be back in this arc pretty soon. And who knows? Maybe he takes on one of these giants or God's Knights. So let's see. Emu means, in my opinion. Yeah, I know what. I don't know what emo means. Sorry. Sorry if I didn't make that a bit clear. But yeah. I might have just accidentally. Oh, and heck yeah, Big Mom and Kaido possessed by Emu, meaning they're getting a crazy amp. Yeah, nah, I'm good. But okay, fair enough. But yeah, who knows? If Oda wants to bring back Big Mom and Kaido for the final saga and do something like that, yeah, I could see it working. But yeah, let's see. But like, look what Kaido did, bro. But yeah, let's see. It would be interesting just to see if like Emu wants to do that. But yeah. But nevertheless, we've got now a Dougie and Broggy, so that the Straw Hats and the Giants of Elbaf has just raised much bigger because, well, basically, Elbaf has lost their champions. So, let's see, they even need, like, the Straw Hats and Monster Trio to come back with the new Giant Warrior Pirates and possibly Loki to come back as well. But yeah. I do like how Emu seems to be enjoying the power that these Elbaf Giants have now they're under his control, but saying, it will be, let's see, talking about how this kingdom will be served and ruled over by him. And decides that, you know what, I want to take a look at this power and see what they can do. So, yeah, I do like that. And let's see. Remember, Big Mom was not close to defeating Wano since she was fully awake. That is true. Let's see, like, imagine Demon Kaido and Big Mom, bro. Oh, yeah, that would be terrifying. Probably even more terrifying if they end up also getting, like, awakened abilities as well. So, who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that one. Let's see. So, yeah, I'll be curious to see what Oda does with that. But, yeah. I do like how you've got the threat of these giants at sea and all that stuff. And Emu is wanting to test out their powers. Even though Emu's saying they need to make it fast because, like, the Holy Land's attacked. But I think I do like how Emu seems to enjoy his new toys and is like, oh, I want to see what they can do. So there's that. And I do like how the citizens of Elbaf are trying to warn Jao that you need to flee. They're going, Dougie and Broggy are coming after your head since they got possessed by this demonic powers, not caring about their crewmates and like the children's lives. It's like, you gotta flee. But of course, Jao, being a prideful warrior, let's see, is determined to stay and fight, which could be the death flags for Jao, which I think Sleepy Bean Peace 10K had mentioned. So who knows? Is he going to die? Let's see. It's very likely he could because he's like an old man at this point. But I think one thing that needs to happen first is for like the sword to be removed from his head, possibly being saved by Chopper, and then revealing what actually happened between Loki and his father, King Harold, and all that stuff in that mystery. But yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if his life is in danger at this point. But yeah, whether he lives and dies or not, who knows? But at the moment, let's see, the stakes of Elbaf has gone worse for the Giants and the Straw Hats. And yeah, overall, if I had to rate this chapter, I would give it like 8. I think I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. This chapter is just perfect, if you will, for me. There might be a few nitpicks here and there, you could say, but I don't know. Emu, we got to see the full extent. Got at least maybe a full. Let's see, maybe not the full extent, but a glimpse of like Emu's power possessed by Gunko. And I've read chapter. Yeah, I've read it as well, but I'll review it and let's see later. But yeah, but yeah, Emu is just like it's got a glimpse of Emu's powers, the hockey, the devil-like abilities of summoning circles. Creating rituals and contracts, creating weapons, if you will. Let's see, and I promise it will not fail you. And that it's fire. Yeah, I agree. But yeah. You have Emu's abilities there, able to easily take out Bruggy and then like turn Bruggy and Doggy into like these demons and all that stuff, and some of their crew gets turned into demons. But it's all terrifying stuff. You also got some stuff like Robin trying to go and break free from the fines and try and put out the fire of the library. And Emu's just casually releasing his Conquest Haki Bra. So yeah, let's see. And we see Emu's just being so incredibly powerful at the moment. And this is not even Emu's real body, so the hype is there. And it's like he's, let's see, making a very strong case of being, just flexing the final boss, which I am pretty much 99% certain is going to be the case. But we'll have to see what moves Blackbeard do. But nevertheless, I'm, let's see, confident in Emu. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, so will be, which is not even Emu himself. So if Luffy ends up fighting this possessed Emu, either, let's see, at the moment, whether or not he wins or loses, it's like, even if Emu sort of loses, it's the possessed Gunko that's lost, so it's not like Emu is full power. Or if Luffy loses against the possessed Gunko Emu, it's like it shows that Luffy's still got a very long way to go before he can take down Emu, even though he's awakened the power of Nika. So yeah, either way, it's a very it's impressive what Emu has been able to do with like possessed Gunko. So yeah, overall 10 out of 10 chapter. Let's see. I'm looking forward to like reviewing the next chapter, and Sleepy being peace, and Media Hawkins. Thank you for your messages and comments. Granted, I think one of you had already, I think Media Hawkins had left at some point, but yeah. Let's see. I hope you enjoyed what I hope, and for anyone else who's listened to this review, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say about it. I look forward to seeing you all next time when I review. Review the next chapter. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. I think Luffy needs a few more years to level up. Arguably, but I don't think One Piece is going to get a time skip. But yeah, I don't think One Piece is going to get one more time skip. So I think Luffy's going to accelerate his growth. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed what I had to say, and I will see you all next time. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye for now.